I don't know when, I don't know how, but I know something's starting right now. What would I give to get away from this shit? What do they think? I must be a prick if I pay to see this pile of trash. Up where they walk, up where they run, up where they stay all day in the sun. Got my ticket. Sick of this shit. Fuck these remakes. What would I give if I could live in the water? What would I pay to spend a day drowning myself? Betcha on land they'd understand that you don't remake the classics. Ursula, I beg you, I will trade my voice if you stop these fucking remakes. You know the drill. Here we go again. Oh, somebody's got to nail Disney's fins to the floor. Oh, hello there. Just, excuse me for one moment before I begin. It's comfort drink time. Whoa! Blah! Happy 100th anniversary, Disney Studios! Oh, Jesus Christ. Hello, my fellow YouTubers and subscribers. Welcome to this rant of yet another Disney live-action remake. I could sleepwalk through this rant, I really could. The Little Mermaid, the 2023 live-action, repeat, live-action remake. Because the original was so shit that everybody wanted to see it be remade. Yeah, it was really that bad. So, do I even need to preamble anymore? Disney are remaking everything. We know the drill. Let's just get on with it. A young mermaid makes a deal with a sea witch to trade her beautiful voice for human legs so she can discover the world above water and fall in love with a prince. Okay, so my review of this film. It sucks. Goodbye. Okay, I'll go into detail, fine. But don't expect me to not enjoy this. The Little Mermaid is another Disney live-action remake that is fucking shit. Like they all are. Well, most of them. Okay, I'm getting sick and tired of talking about the remakes, and there are other films I would rather review, but it won't surprise you to know that this movie is not good. Although, that being said, it is a wafer-thin improvement over the last 2 or 3 remakes, at least. So it isn't the worst one, but it ain't the best either. I have to give this movie credit where it's due. I do believe that it's not a total disaster. So I will start by saying Halle Bailey, bravo. Halle Bailey is a fantastic singer. She was a great choice for Ariel. I don't care what anyone says about Ariel's skin color. That doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whatsoever. She was really good in the role. I don't know if I can say she nailed it, but of all the people to have been cast, she was probably a safe choice. The best song in the movie is Part of Your World. I think she does a really good job with that. She definitely gets the method acting well as well when Ariel has to lose her voice. That's also really well done, and her chemistry with Eric is definitely a highlight of this film, and that's one of the things this movie does really well, is that it has great chemistry with the two leads, and you believe the romance. Certainly you believe a lot more. I mean, Eric as a character is certainly a lot more fleshed out than he is in the animation. Well, a bit more fleshed out. But this movie is just so dull. I mean, it doesn't help with that fucking runtime. My god, 2 hours and 15 minutes. That is ridiculously long for such a short story. It is so overstretched, I cannot tell you. Although, weirdly, considering its length, it doesn't really add much. I mean, it adds the usual kind of Disney live-action remakes filler of let's make random pointless changes just for the sake of it. Like, Eric has a mother in this film. Triton and Ursula are apparently brother and sister, which doesn't go anywhere, because forced emotional impact, why not? Ariel forgets that she has 3 days to kiss Eric. Ariel's mother was killed by humans. Chef Louis and the Le Poisson song have been cut. So all those little changes are the usual kind of mumbo-jumbo that I've complained about in the past, how these remakes just cut random things and change things just for the sake of doing it, just for the sake of not being a beat-for-beat copy of the original. This movie follows most of the same beats as the original film. It's very similar, obviously. The only kind of addition that I liked, really, was the fact that Eric was a little bit more fleshed out this time. Eric as a character was slightly more engaging. I mean, in the original, he is just a love interest and a prince, but in this one, it's very much about him kind of coming to terms with his heart, I guess, finding love and his struggle for romance and, you know, his kind of duties as well, you know. I think that's probably where his mother comes into the story. But again, it's not fleshed out enough, but at least there's a bit more context, and at least you kind of get a sense he has more of a personality in this film. You see why she loves him, because he's a good guy, and, you know, the romance builds quite nicely. So that I can praise. This movie's cinematography is just so dreary. This movie has such a dull look to it. It really does. The scenes on land honestly look the best, because there's sunshine, there's colour, there's vibrance. Underwater, it's all grim and murky. They're trying to make it too realistic, if that's even the right word to use. And the CGI is terrible. It's really computer gamey. That's the only way to describe it. It's like Aquaman, but worse. You know, they really should have spoken to James Cameron's people and got the people that made Avatar: The Way of Water, because if you want to know how to do underwater visuals, that is the movie to go on. So really, this movie does not set a good precedent for visual effects, and really these visual effects are like PS4, it's like a PS5 video game of The Little Mermaid brought to life. It really is. That's all I can say. Adding to that, the character designs are shite. I mean, Sebastian and Flounder and Scuttle look terrible. They just, but Sebastian particularly looks weird. It's just very, very strange. That's all I can say. Very bizarre. It doesn't fit whatsoever. And this movie is so humorless. Pretty much all the humor in this movie is derivative of the original film. It's all the same lines and the same beats. So it's hard to kind of find it funny. Some of the actors just aren't really giving it all. Not all of them seem to care about their characters. Javier Bardem, man. You're better than this. Javier Bardem plays King Triton, and to be honest, he phones it in. He really does, and he just doesn't seem to care about this. He's doing it to get paid, so I hope you earned your paycheck, mate, because, yeah, why? Why were you in this shit, other than for that reason? Jonah Hauer-King, or Hauer-King? I don't know how you pronounce his name, as Eric. He's actually quite decent. Him and Hallie Bailey are the best in the cast, quite clearly, and they do have some good chemistry. Mellisa McCarthy as Ursula, I can see why some people would find her a good choice, but to me, she was just doing a Pat Carroll impression. There wasn't much else to it. And the song, Poor Unfortunate Souls, oh god, it was so slow. You poor unfortunate soul, so sad but true. Whereas the original, it was like, poor unfortunate soul, so sad but true. There was rhythm, there was bass, there was tension. You felt scared by Ursula in the original. Here, it's almost like a second-rate play, like a second-rate kind of amateur dramatics play, where they try and do The Little Mermaid. I don't know, it just did not have the same quality. The transformation sequence was okay, that was quite bearable, but the rest of it was just tired. It was very limp, and that's how I feel about most of the songs. Noma Dumezweni as the Queen, again, good actress, but pointless character. David Diggs as Sebastian. I don't know if the guy is actually Jamaican, but his Jamaican accent did not work for me. It did not sound authentic. Yeah, there's just no charm to him. Every line feels one note. He just doesn't emote enough. And even when he's trying to emote, everything is always in the same note of voice. You know, Ariel, come back, you know. And I just feel so deflated watching it, because I just feel like the charm and the magic of the original just is not here. It really isn't. And there are sequences in this film that are just so dark that you can't flipping see what's going on as well. So the lighting and the composition are a letdown as well. Art Malik as Grimsby gets surprisingly a lot to do, and Jacob Tremblay as Flounder gets surprisingly little to do. But I have to be honest, Awkwafina as Scuttle, well, she's not as annoying as she is in Raya and the Last Dragon, but the song was absolute cringe. Why on earth they gave Scuttle a song, I've got no idea. They give Scuttle this rap song about the prince getting married. It's just pointless. All the new songs add nothing. Although Eric's one is decent, that one is perfectly fine. Again, it's pointless. It doesn't add anything to the story or his character, but I could listen to that one and not be offended. Let's put it that way. The other one, I think, was Ariel joining the human world and trying to walk for the first time. And I had to double take because I thought, hang on, why is she singing when she's lost her voice? But they do it as a kind of narration voiceover type thing. So it's her inner thoughts singing about the human world, which I guess kind of works, but at the same time, the song didn't really need to be there. That's what I'm saying. The movie is far too long. It adds all this stuff, which is irrelevant to the main plot, you know? And you just feel like, God, I'm watching an extended cut of the original film, which, well, or a worse version, but with an extended cut. It's just weird. As for the songs, like I said, most of them feel very limp and very lackluster. They don't have any energy. I'll give it this. Part of Your World was very good. That was my favourite one, because that had a lot of emotion. Kiss the Girl was alright, but the other ones were just so limp. Under the Sea. What happened, man? What happened? Scuttle song, crap. The new song's crap. Eric's one was alright. Poor Unfortunate Souls. Limp. Although one change which I did appreciate, which I guess is sort of a spoiler, is the way Ursula is dispatched in the movie. In terms of the way she's dispatched, it's similar to the original, but in terms of who dispatches of her, they do switch that around. And the shipwreck sequence is not too bad, actually. That is quite good. And like I said, Halle Bailey is the reason to watch it. She is very good in this movie, but this movie is just so boring. It is so overlong, dull, dreary, darkly lit. You cannot see a fucking thing when they're underwater. The visuals and the graphics just look so fake and computer gamey, and the romance element is quite nice, but this movie just feels so without energy, so without heart. It's just very lackluster. It's, what can I say? It's more of the same. If you know the remakes by this point, you know what you're gonna get. And this is very much an archetype of that. There is not much else to it. But that being said, it's not the worst. It's not the worst one, but it's not the best either. So to give it a final rating, I will give The Little Mermaid remake 4 out of 10. For me, it's quite generous. So it is a wafer-thin improvement over the last two remakes, but that isn't really much of a compliment, so don't take that with high esteem. So anyway, that's my rant on The Little Mermaid remake. It wasn't quite as bad as I expected it to be, but it wasn't great. It is still very poor, very disappointing, but not the absolute mess that I anticipated. So for that, I guess in a sense, it sort of surprised me, but not really. It depends how you look at it. Thank you very much all for watching this review. What do you think of this film? Please comment down below, let me know. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button, and stay tuned when I finish my Disney live-action remake reviews with Alice in Wonderland. And then after that, I should be able to get to the ranking of the Disney live-action remakes so far. So until next time, I'm Pajak's Perspective. See ya. Bye for now.